Ifa, the CEO of the Criterion Medical Over Home. We get you guys, we get everyone at home, and we welcome you to our program at News Boss Tank NGTV, our program Out to Watch. My name remains Abdullah Yukoli, as I said earlier, and our today's edition of Out to Watch will be on peptic ulcer. We'll be discussing on peptic ulcer, and just as you've known that this is one of the most common and it's very regular ailment. You hear someone saying, "I'm having ulcer, I'm having ulcer, I'm having ulcer." So, what are those informations? What are the necessary informations? What are the key informations which each and every one of us needs to know about this condition, and how do we address it? People believe that ulcer is an ailment that you have to live on with, and there's no cure for it. You just have to manage it. But this is real wrong. This is a very real wrong information. Because I've even experienced it, and I know the pains, the symptoms, and everything that has to do with it. I've experienced it, but right now I'm free from it. So how exactly did I get myself cured from ulcer, and what are the information you need to know about ulcer? So ulcer is a medical term which means wound or sore. Generally, ulcer means wound. So the wound can be anywhere. If you have a wound on your hand, it is called hand ulcer. If you have a wound on your leg, it is called leg ulcer. If you have a wound on your face, it is called face ulcer. So ulcer just means wound. Just like saying cancer, you can have breast cancer, you can have skin cancer, we can have liver cancer, depending on the location. So that is what the name will come after. So ulcer means wound. But when we're talking of peptic ulcer, that means the wound, or let's say the sore that happens in the peptic region. What is peptic? Peptic simply means the gastrointestinal tract. The gastrointestinal tract, or let me say the digestive tract. So basically, when there is a kind of sore in these organs, in the organs that make up the gastrointestinal system, the GI system, including the stomach, the duodenum, the esophagus, and other organs that contribute to the digestive system. If there is a sore in any of these organs, then peptic ulcer is said to have happened. Now, what are the causes? What are those things that causes ulcer? Most of us we feel that perhaps maybe if you fast a lot, like you are fasting too much, don't fast too much, or else you'll be having ulcer. You are eating what is pepperish, you consume pepper too much, ó ti ń jẹ ata jù, tó bá ń jẹ ata wà máa ní ulcer, or tó bá tètè jẹun láàárọ̀ wà máa ní ulcer. If you don't eat early in the morning, you'll be having ulcer, and a lot of myths that have been related to ulcer. So are these really the causes of ulcer? We say absolutely no. Science has proven it that ulcer is caused by majorly three causes. There are three major causes of ulcer, though there are many triggers that triggers ulcer reaction. There are many triggers that worsen ulcer cases, but the real causes of ulcer are majorly these three causes, which I'll be highlighting right now. The first cause of ulcer is exposure to the H. pylori bacteria. There is a bacteria, Helicobacter pylori bacterium. So this bacteria is the one that is responsible for causing the more than half of the cases of ulcer cases. More than half of ulcer cases is being caused by exposure to Helicobacter pylori. I want you to have it in mind that almost every one of us has this bacteria in us. Almost every one of us are exposed to this H. pylori bacteria, and one of the ways with which we get exposed to it is maybe due to the food we consume, and it's also one can get infected. Are you getting it? Maybe like someone that is already having the Helicobacter pylori bacteria, the person is already exposed to it, and if you have some exchange of bodily fluid with such person, you are at risk of contacting the bacteria from the person, and also from the food. Maybe you eat food that is not well processed, maybe from water that is not well processed, so you can contact Helicobacter pylori from this also. But not everyone that tests positive to Helicobacter pylori are having ulcer. I want you to understand this very well. If you went for a kind of test, and you are told to be having Helicobacter pylori, it doesn't mean that automatically you are having ulcer. But most cases of ulcer are caused by Helicobacter pylori. So what's now happening in this case is the stomach. This is how ulcer happens. So you can understand how Helicobacter is H. pylori, how it affects ulcer and causes ulcer. The stomach itself is a very flexible organ, And whenever we eat, whenever we consume any food, there are digestive juice, digestive acid that is being produced by the body to help to break down the food which we eat. There are some enzymes like the pepsin that helps to break down protein. So the stomach will produce, the body will produce some digestive juices so as to assist the breakdown of the food which we just consume. And God, in His infinite mercy and infinite knowledge, due to the fact that the stomach and all the gastrointestinal tract, because of their flexibility, so there is a covering. There is a covering on these organs. They call it, the scientists call them the mucous membrane, or let's say the stomach lining. There's a lining. Let's say this is a wall. This is the stomach wall, for example. So on the stomach wall, there is a covering, just like when you build your house. So when you build your house, after laying down the blocks of the house, then you still put plaster. Are you getting it? You still plaster the wall so that there won't be any, due to rain, due to excessive sun, so that the wall won't be weakened. So you put plaster, then you paint it. Are you getting it? So that whenever the wall is being exposed to maybe direct sunlight or too much of heavy rain, so it won't have effect on the wall. So that is why you plaster it. Due to the fact that the wall is flexible and can be, it can react, or let's say it can get damaged by whatever is ash. So God Almighty also, due to the flexibility of the stomach, He covers the stomach with mucous membrane and lining. Are you getting it? He covers it with lining and mucous membrane so that whenever the acidic, the digestive juice or the digestive acid, which is being produced whenever we eat, whenever the juice is being, whenever it's being produced, and it's trying to metabolize the food which we eat, it won't pass directly on the stomach. I believe you know what we call acid, and you know how acid is. Acid is very, very harsh in nature. Are you getting it? Acid is very, very harsh in nature. So due to the flexibility of the stomach or any of the gastrointestinal tracts, so there's a covering that is covering these organs so that the acid won't have direct contact with these organs. So let's say this is the stomach down here. So the lining, the stomach lining is, let's say the mucous membrane, also the stomach lining is covering it. So the acidic juice will now pass on it. It won't have direct contact with the stomach or with the esophageal or with the duodenum or any other organ within the gastrointestinal region. So it won't have direct contact with it. Now, what the H. pylori bacteria does is that whenever one is exposed to H. pylori bacteria, I said earlier, not all cases of people being exposed to H. pylori means that means automatically the person will be having ulcer. But it can happen in like 1/5. In 5 people that have H. pylori bacteria, one of them might be positive, or let's say one of them might be reactive to ulcer, that is, will be having ulcer sore. So what H. pylori does is that H. pylori will break down the mucous membrane. H. pylori will break down the mucous membrane, removing the membrane away from the stomach or away from the duodenum or away from the esophageal, now exposing that organ directly to the acidic juice which the stomach produces whenever the person eats. I hope this is clear. So this is the organ A, and the mucous membrane is on it, and the food which is being which the person ate. So due to the fact that the food needs to be digested, so the body produces these enzymes and acidic juice. So the juice will now pass on the mucous membrane, but H. pylori will now eat off, or let's say break down the mucous membrane. So it will now make the stomach to be exposed directly to the digestive acid. Then the acid will now chop it off and cause wound there, which is called ulcer. I hope this is a layman illustration due to the fact that we are trying to make you guys understand the reason why this happens, and you can understand how to take care of it and control it. So that is what H. pylori does. So now, this is where now the fact that you did not eat early. You did not eat early initially is not a cause for ulcer. But in as much one is already having the ulcer, not eating early will now worsen the case. Are you getting it? Not eating early or fasting for a long period of time does not cause ulcer initially, but now that the person has been exposed to ulcer due to the fact that the H. pylori have chopped off the stomach lining and exposed the stomach to the acidic juice or to the digestive acid, which is being produced by the body. So now, if the person did not eat any, the acidic juice will now be much more. If you are hungry, let's say maybe you are fasting, something happens whenever we are hungry. The brain triggers the production of an hormone, which is locally called hunger hormone. Whenever you are hungry, if you are hungry, like if you are hungry, your brain will signal your body to produce an hormone called hunger hormone. So it is this hormone that will now also trigger the production. The hormone will trigger the body to produce excessive acidic juice. The hormone will be triggering the body to produce a lot of acid due to the fact that the body is expecting food. The body is expecting food. The body is expecting food. So just like like you are hungry and your mouth is watering, like go get it today. Let food come. Let food come. You are desperate for food. So also are your organs are also desperate for food. So whenever you are hungry, I mean severe hunger, so your brain will produce an hormone which is called the hunger hormone, and the hunger hormone will trigger the body to produce digestive acids. So this acid will now worsen the case because it will pass on the organ that is on either the stomach as a case study, because the stomach ulcer is the most common of all ulcers. You hear someone saying, "Money, stomach ulcer, I have stomach ulcer, I have stomach ulcer." So stomach ulcer is what we call gastric ulcer, because the scientific name for stomach is gastro. That's the scientific name for stomach. So gastric ulcer means stomach ulcer. So now that the body is producing excessive acidic juice due to the fact that the person is hungry, and the H. pylori have already exposed the stomach or the duodenum or the esophagus to what? To the digestive acid, which have already caused a sore. So if the person is now hungry, so the hunger will now produce more acid, and the acid will be passing on that sore, which will now be causing much more severe pains. So this is what causes pain to be severe whenever you are hungry. So it is not the hunger that causes the ulcer initially, but the hunger will worsen the ulcer case. And you see, if you are hungry and you are having the ulcer symptoms, as soon as you find something to eat, you get relieved. But some people get mistaken again. You might think that because you are hungry, just find anything to eat. You won't just eat anything, because if you eat anything and what you eat is also very acidic in nature, so it will only worsen your case. Like someone that is already exposed to ulcer, you hear them telling them, don't eat beans, don't eat fightings, don't eat this, don't eat that. Simply because these things are very high in acidic. They are very acidic. The acidic level is very, very high. And since the acidic level is high, and you're already having ulcer, and your ulcer is being triggered by the exposure of the organ of the gastrointestinal tract to the digestive acids. So if you consume any food that is having acids again, then it will worsen the case. I hope this is clear. It will worsen the case because the person is already exposed to H. pylori bacteria, which have chopped off the mucous membrane. So this is the first cause of ulcer, exposure to H. pylori bacteria. The second cause of ulcer, the second major causes of ulcer is usage of non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs. Usage of non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs. There are some drugs that are called non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs. These drugs are majorly used for pain relief. The medications that are used for pain relief, like ibuprofen, like aspirin, like diclofenac, and the likes. So these medications, they also react in the same way as H. pylori reacts. They also react in the same way as H. pylori reacts. These medications, that is ibuprofen. I believe most of you will know ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is very, very common. Ibuprofen, Ibucap, and the likes. I think they said it's 100 naira also. So it's very effective for pains. And people misuse them, especially in our country, in Nigeria. Someone like, maybe you're just like feeling tired and they like, let me quickly get a pack of ibuprofen. You use 2 in the morning, 2 in the night, and you continue using like that consistently. So consistent use of these non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs will expose you to ulcer. Because these drugs also chop off the mucous membrane. They chop off the stomach lining and expose the stomach to the digestive juice. And this digestive juice chopped off the stomach and causes ulcer. So this is basically how it affects ulcer. And that's why you see, if you read the paper, in medicine, that orthodox medications, you find a prescription. There used to be this kind of paper in it, trying to give you full information of what you are trying to consume. But most of us, we are ignorant of that paper. You just like throw it away, like, what do I want to use it for? Who will help? But it has a whole lot of information in it that if you've gone through it, you understand how best to use it. So in the paper, they will tell you that if you are having ulcer, don't come near this medication. If you are having ulcer, don't use this medication. And they will also tell you that these medications can cause ulcer reaction. Because those medications, they will increase the production of acidic juice, and they will also break down the mucous membrane that is covering the gastrointestinal tract. So with this is how ulcer will happen in the intestine. Also, the third cause of ulcer is consumption of alcohol and smoking of smoking generally, smoking of anything. So this does not need rocket science to understand this, that alcohol will affect the membrane covering the stomach and expose the stomach itself to acidic juice, because it itself is also very acidic. Consumption of caffeine, coffee, and the likes. So this will worsen ulcer case, and it can also cause ulcer on their own. In fact, most of those that consume alcohol and most of those that smokes, whatever smoke it might be, so they are mostly, even more than half of those that consume alcohol and smokes are exposed to ulcer. So these are the three major causes of ulcer. The first one is exposure to the H. pylori bacteria, Helicobacter pylori bacteria. And the second cause is usage of non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs. That's pain reliefs. And the third is consumption of alcohol and smoking. So the other causes, the other mites which we've been hearing, these and these and these, they only worsen the case. They only worsen the situation. But I want you also to understand the fact that whenever you are having pains in the stomach, whenever you are having pains in your abdominal region, it doesn't automatically mean you are having ulcer. Not all pains that is being triggered, that is being felt in the abdominal region is a symptom of ulcer. No, a whole lot of causes can be behind it. I get it. So ulcer shares symptoms with a whole lot of other conditions, like acid reflux, like heartburn, and the likes. They have similar reaction, or let's say similar symptoms to ulcer. So if you want to know if you are having ulcer, though there are some diagnostic tests which we are still going to recommend some at the end of the program, but a very simple way to know if you are having ulcer, due to the fact that you are feeling, you are feeling pain, you are bloating and the likes, you are feeling the urge to vomit, you have loss of appetite and the likes. So if you want to know if your own condition is being caused by ulcer, there's a very simple way to do a home test. There's a simple way to do a home test to confirm if you're having ulcer. So there's what we call apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar, ACV. In Arabic, it's called khalutufa. Apple cider vinegar. So you can get this or lemon. These two products are very acidic in nature. So if you want to know if your stomach pain is being triggered by ulcer, take 1 full tablespoon of any of this. Take 1 full tablespoon of any of these. So if your condition subside, that means it's ulcer. In fact, it means that you are having low digestive acid. So, and by taking it, it will normalize the acid, the digestive acid, and you feel okay. So if you feel okay after taking lemon or after taking apple cider vinegar raw, that means you're not having ulcer. But if your condition worsen, that means you're having ulcer. It's very simple, and you don't need rocket science to understand it. Because you having ulcer symptoms, it means that the digestive acid is already high, and it is affecting, the sore, the wound already. So if you now consume something that is even naturally having its own acid, so that means it will worsen it. So if it worsens it, that means you're having ulcer. I think this is clear. So 1 tablespoon of either apple cider vinegar or 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Make sure it is unadulterated, undiluted. So if you've taken it, you take any of these and your condition subside, you feel okay after taking it, then understand that you're not having ulcer. Maybe you're just having some kind of, a stomach little abnormality, and it has subsided. It subsided. But if your condition worsen, then it means that you're having ulcer. So these are the three major causes of ulcer. And now types of ulcer. Types of ulcer. Ulcer, as I said earlier, means wound. It means sore, and it can happen anywhere. But peptic ulcer, which is our cause of discussion today, three major types. Three major types. Their causes are the same, but their location where it happens, I've made it clear that when we talk of the peptic, that is the peptic, it means the gastrointestinal tract. The gastrointestinal tract. So that is the digestive system. So firstly, ulcer can be found in the esophageal. Yes, it can happen in the esophageal. That is, we call it esophageal ulcer. That is sore that happens in the esophageal region, and this can be triggered by any of those three factors which we've highlighted initially. The second ulcer is the one that happens in the stomach, which is called gastric ulcer. It's called gastric ulcer, and this is one of the most common type of ulcer. It happens a whole lot of time. I get it. It happens a whole lot of time. So that is, the stomach is being exposed to any of those factors which we highlighted initially, and the chop off, the acidic juice chop off the mucous membrane covering the stomach, and it causes an ulcer sore. That is causing a sore on the stomach. And the third type of ulcer is the duodenum ulcer. The duodenum ulcer, and the duodenum is located in the in a part of the small intestine. It's a part of the small intestine which is beneath the stomach. So if there is an ulcer, there's an ulcerative reaction on the duodenum, and it's said to have been caused by any of those factors which we've highlighted initially. So ulcer can be found in any other tract, but these are the major three organs that ulcer affects. Now, what are the symptoms of ulcer? What are the symptoms that happens? What are those reactions you see when you're having ulcer? Not everyone that have ulcer shows symptoms. But when the symptoms comes, I believe you will know that you are having something, because ulcer is not friendly. Though it's a very common condition, but it's not friendly. The pains that comes along with ulcer is very, very severe. You're having severe abdominal pain, severe bloating. You'll be having the urge to vomit, weakness. I remember then when I was having the ulcer symptoms, I can't stand, I can't sit, I can't sleep, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to do. Because the symptoms will just affect you. I remember when I was then, one of my teachers, he told me that if one is having ulcer symptoms and it's reacting, it will get to some point in time you feel like, am I being charmed? Because the symptom is very, very severe. And if one is not fortunate enough to get the right medication for it, you'll be using some medication, and instead of it to be subsiding, it will still be worsening the case again. So you'll be like, why am I having it's much more severe than that. So, but the common symptoms are pain in the abdominal region, pain in the stomach region, loss of appetite, weakness, total body weakness, and also one can be vomiting blood. Ulcer can cause one to be vomiting blood. And I think that the reason for this is also very clear due to the fact that we said it is wound, right? Ulcer means wound. So if the wound becomes, if there's perforation, some ulcer will be severe to the extent that the organ which is being affected will become perforated. Let's say this is the stomach. The stomach is like a sack. So it will perforate it from the front and perforate from the front to the back. It will cause a kind of hole from the front to the back. In cases like this, what is mostly recommended is just surgery. In cases like that. So the person will be having vomiting blood, stooling blood also, and difficulty in stooling, constipation. So these are among the symptoms and common symptoms of ulcer. But these symptoms will worsen whenever we take things that are much more acidic in nature. Whenever we take things that are acidic in nature. So how do you diagnose ulcer? I've told us one common way or one simple way to diagnose ulcer at home, and that is by taking apple cider vinegar or lemon. So taking a tablespoon of it. So the reaction that comes after taking it will make you to understand that am I having ulcer, or maybe I'm just having some kind of abdominal abnormality. So, but what are the laboratory diagnoses you need to do to confirm that you're having ulcer? There are so many tests that is being done to confirm if one is having ulcer, because it might be very difficult to detect sometimes. Ulcer is very difficult to detect sometimes. So, but some of the basic tests that is being done is that there is what you call endoscopy. Endoscopy is taking a lab instrument, which is called the endoscope, and inserted through the mouth. The endoscope, it has like a camera at the ending to be inserted. It's very tiny. To be inserted through the mouth down to the gastrointestinal tract to view, because it will be showing on the screen if you're in the lab. So it will be showing the condition of the organs. It has a camera at the end of it. So the organs, the esophagus, the stomach, the duodenum, the small intestine, and the likes will be seen clearly. So if there is any ulcer, it will show clearly on the screen, because it's a camera, and it will show the whole of the gastrointestinal tract. So this is a very clear way to detect ulcer, because it will show it. It will show it. Also, you can do tests to show if you're having H. pylori, bacteria, if you've been exposed to H. pylori. So these are the two major ways to detect ulcer. These are the two major ways to detect ulcer. So now, how do we manage and treat ulcer? Is ulcer treatable, or one just have to manage it and continue to manage it till one dies? Absolutely. According to scientific facts, initially ulcer was thought to be untreatable. Initially, ulcer was thought to be a lifelong condition, a chronic health condition. But with advancements in knowledge, exposure, and the likes, so ulcer is 100% treatable. 100% treatable, but not everyone having ulcer will be treatable. Yes, ulcer is 100% treatable, but not everyone having ulcer will be treatable. So I being a naturopath, in the orthodox world, in the orthodox medications, if you are to be treated with ulcer, you'll be given things like omeprazole, antacid, and the like. These are only meant to reduce the acidic juice, the digestive juice, the acidic, to reduce the acidic level of the stomach, of the gastrointestinal tract. So this is not meant to serve as a cure. So this is just meant to reduce the reaction and the symptoms. Are you getting it? That is all these antacid and antacid, omeprazole, gentamicin, all these medications. I believe you know them, that is being given in the chemists and in the pharmacies. They are meant to relieve ulcer. They can't. They are not meant to treat or cure ulcer. They are only meant to relieve the symptom for a certain period of time. Are you getting it? For a certain period of time. So if your own ulcer is being caused by H. pylori infection, your doctor will recommend you to get some kind of antibiotics, just as you said earlier, that it is a bacterial infection. And if one is having a bacterial infection, you correct it with antibiotics. That in the way you get as by a doctor. Not just you just go to any pharmacy, chemist, and like, give me antibiotics, get me gentamicin, get me this, get me that. No, you follow your doctor's prescription. And for us naturopaths, amongst what we use to take care and control ulcer, aloe vera is a very wonderful treatment, very wonderful herb that helps to cure ulcer perfectly well. And one of the reasons for this is that, firstly, aloe vera has anti-inflammatory property. That is, it helps to relieve pain. If you're having pain, generally, aloe vera is perfect for pain. Aloe vera generally, it's very high in the anti-inflammatory property in it is very rich, very high, so it helps to relieve pain. Also, it also helps to reduce the acidic level of the stomach, giving the sore enough time to heal. I guess it gives the sore enough time to heal. So you get aloe vera, which is you call it etiere. etiering, so aloe vera. So I believe you all know aloe vera. So you can get like 10 to 12 pieces of aloe vera. That is well developed, well grown aloe vera, not just baby aloe vera, well grown aloe vera. Aloe vera to do dada. So you get like 10 pieces of it. Also, though some people react to garlic whenever some people having ulcer react to garlic, but generally garlic is scientifically proven to take care of ulcer, especially those ulcer caused by H. pylori infection, because garlic has antimicrobial property. It is used for most microorganism, pathogenic disorder. Generally, garlic is very, very effective for them. For bacterial infections, for fungal infections, for viral infection, for parasitic infection, garlic is very, very perfect for them. So if your own ulcer is being triggered by H. pylori infection, so it's highly recommended that you get garlic along with aloe vera. So making 2 ingredients there. You also get what we call bitter cola, which you call obi, orodo, bitter cola, orodo. So the garlic, the measurement, I said the aloe vera should be like 10 to 12 eggs of aloe vera. So everything. Someone can ask, should I scoop the juice in it? No, everything called aloe vera. You get aloe vera like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Someone have asked me like, do you mean I should cut it into 12 pieces? No. Aloe vera, full aloe vera, 12 pieces, 10 to 12 pieces. Full aloe vera. Yes. And garlic, like an handful of garlic. 1 handful of garlic is enough. And also the bitter cola, it's also very effective. It also has anti-inflammatory property. It also helps to relieve ulcer pains a whole lot. So getting the bitter cola, like 20 pieces is okay. 20 pieces that is well ripping. So these 3 recommendations. So you cut them into pieces, you blend them with little water. You blend them. You blend it. You can use a blender to blend them. Then you add honey, unadulterated honey. Please be very certain about the honey which you want to buy. Be very, very certain about it, because there are many adulterated honey out there, and they claim that it's real, it's original, and the likes. So make sure that the honey you are getting is unadulterated. So mix it. All what you blend, it will be going to around 50 cl. So now mix 50 cl with it also to make 1 liter. Are you getting it? So whatever you are able to get, let the honey be times 2 of it. That is, if what you blend is 1 liter, then let the honey be 1 liter. But don't let it to be 1 liter, because that will mean that you put a whole lot of water. So don't put too much water. Just put water that is enough to blend, enough water that is meant to to juice out the just highlighted. So aloe vera, garlic, and bitter cola. So these 3, you blend them with little water, and you add honey, equal quantity of what you just juiced out or what you just blend out. So with honey. So someone might ask that after blending, should we juice it out? Blend it very well. Make it to be a smooth blending. You don't need to juice it. Emma will say you don't need to sieve it out. Make sure that the blending is very, very perfect. Are you getting it? Make sure that the blending is very, very perfect. So blend it well and add equal quantity of honey to it, so that the honey also has its own ulcerative property to take care of ulcer. Honey on its own honey alone on its own is well recommended for ulcer on its own. But to give it to attack the ulcer from all angles, and no matter the cause of the ulcer, if it is due to, and please listen, if your ulcer is due to consumption of NSAIDs, that's non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs, you have to stop it. You have to stop it, because you can't be expecting to be using medication and still be taking the cost of the ailment initially. It's just as if you are trying to cut a tree and you are still putting water at the end of the earth, underneath the tree. You are trying to germinate the tree and you are trying to kill it. So it's either you kill it or you keep on facing the pains. I get it? Because some people, due to the fact that ulcer comes with pain, they will still use pain reliever to cure the pain again. Meanwhile, it is this pain reliever that causes the pain reaction initially. I get it? So it's not a wise decision. So you don't need to use those pain reliefs. I get it, because they are the causes of the ulcer reaction initially. So you have to stop it. I get it. And these herbs which I just highlighted, they also have just I said regarding the garlic. Also, aloe vera has antimicrobial property, and also bitter kola has antimicrobial property. So, meaning if it is caused by H. pylori, these three are enough to take care of it. I get it. They are enough to take care of it. So that is the first recommendation. The second recommendation, which will be giving you guys to take care of ulcer, is to get unripe plantain. Unripe plantain, ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ àgbagbà tí ó ti pọ́n but tí ò tí gbó. Tó ti gbó but tí ò tí pọ́n. That is unripe plantain. It is well matured plantain, but that hasn't ripened. So you get like 5 to 6 pieces of this plantain, and you also get okra. Okra, that is ila, which you call ila. So you can get like 15 to 20 pieces of okra and like 5 to 6 pieces of unripe plantain. You dice everything into pieces, including the covering. Including the covering. Tekpo. So you don't need to remove the covering. Everything. Go and buy plantain, go and buy okra, and cut everything into pieces. Then add like 6 liters of water and cover it for 3 days. On the 4th day, let's say for example today is Thursday for instance, if you should soak it today, then Thursday to Friday, Friday to Saturday, Saturday to Sunday, then on Monday you sieve it out, or on the night of Sunday or on Monday you juice it out, you sieve it, then you sieve out the liquid, so into a jerry can, and you take 1 shot in the morning, 1 shot, 1 table cup in the morning, 1 table cup in the night. But for the initial one, the dosage is 1 shot in the morning, 1 shot at night. That is for the aloe vera combination. So you use 1 shot of that in the morning and 1 shot in the night. But for this, that is for the okra and the plantain. So you take 1 table cup in the morning and 1 table cup in the night, and you use this for 3 to 4 weeks. 3 to 4 weeks. So with the grace of God Almighty, these 2 recommendations are perfectly okay to take care of your ulcer condition. And you don't need to take both at the same time. You don't need to take both at the same time. You can take any of those 2. I get it to use any of them, and by God's grace, you feel better, you feel okay. So we'll be stopping here by God's grace, and I hope you enjoy your time. I hope you enjoy your data, and meet us next week also on our next episode of news of Health Watch. So I remain my humble self, Dr. Abdullahi Oyekole Abu Hanifa, the CEO of the Criterion Medical Aba Home. If you want to have any discussion with me, you have a health complaint to make, you can call us on 090-3237-2682. 090-3237-2682. This is our WhatsApp contact. You can also chat us on WhatsApp also. And our office address is located at number 16, Richard Abimbola Street, Ilasamaja, Lagos. Thanks so much. The Criterion cares.